Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, tune in as we discuss March Madness players, upsets, matchups, and bracket busters. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly, easier said, done.
Believe it or not, summer is just around the corner. Luckily, Armor All, America's most trusted auto appearance brand, has what your car needs to get that perfect summer shine. Plus, now through May 31st, we'll give you $5 for every $20 you spend on Armor All products. That means car wash pods, protectant, tire shine, you name it. Find out how to get your $5 rebate at armorall.com. Armor All, less work, more clean. Terms apply.
Why do the females have to clean up over there? Why don't you people just clean up after yourselves? Everybody clean up after yourselves regardless of what their genitalia is. I don't get that. All right, well, she's going to clean up after you. Why do you have to clean up after him? Why don't you clean up after yourself just the same way you're telling him to clean up after himself?
That's my woman. That's what she supposed to do.
So what? What?
That's what she supposed to do.
Oh, that was a mistake.
This is the plaintiff, Natifa Stevenson. She says the defendant, her brother, who used to live with her, up and left one day and took her 55-inch flat-screen TV with him. Her thieving brother also owes her for rent, so she's here in the name of justice in this great country, suing for the $4,750 she's owed. This is the defendant, Clifford Alderman. He says he couldn't handle living with the plaintiff, his little sister, because she always had her boyfriend in the house. They didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, so before it turned violent, he decided to move out. He packed up, took his belongings, including the TV he paid for, and left. Now his sister's suing him in court? Police. He's accused of creating a sibling rivalry.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Natifa Stevenson?
Yes.
You are suing your brother, Clifford Alderman?
Yes.
For $4,750 in rent that you say, back rent that you say he owes and has not paid, and the cost of a TV set that you say he essentially stole from when he moved out. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, so December 1st of 2013, me and Cliff, we found a property that we liked, and we figured out, okay, you know, you're my brother. I didn't feel like I'd be having to suffer like I am now. We just felt like, okay, let's do it. Let's get a property that we can rent to own.
Rent to own?
Yes.
Okay.
So we signed the lease, and it's a 2-year lease, and after the 2 years, we have the option to rent to buy.
You have the option to buy.
To buy.
And have all that rent applied towards was there a set purchase price?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I got home, I will never forget August 20th. Of 2015, I got home to my flat screen TV, which is in the living room, gone. Now everything else was there, so obviously it wasn't a robbery it wasn't a break-in or anything of that sort. So as I'm looking through the house to see like why is just the TV gone. So I go in Cliff's room, and everything of Cliff's is almost gone. There's no deodorant on his dresser. There's nothing there. So
is there furniture?
Nothing. But
this cannot be a surprise. Had you been having problems?
Yes, we have.
Okay, what were the problems?
Cliff does not like my boyfriend.
Okay.
Cliff and my boyfriend's always going at it. Cliff's always in his room. You know, Cliff's not a person who's really in the living room hanging out. But when my boyfriend comes around, Cliff's finds that way to come out of the room to start a problem. It's always an issue when it comes to my boyfriend. He feels like my boyfriend lives there. Yes, he comes visits. Yes, he may stay a night or so, but he does not live there. My boyfriend doesn't even have clothes in my house.
Okay. So he moves out, and you still have to pay the rent.
Yes.
And then was the lease over?
Well, the lease was up as of December of 2015. We were able to, if we were going to purchase, we were able to.
And what happened?
I couldn't purchase that by myself.
Right. So are you still living there?
No, ma'am. I'm at my mom's
Okay. So when
house.
did you move out?
I moved out as of November.
Okay. All right. So you're suing him for September, October, November. Did you ever talk to him and ask him what's the deal?
Of course, I called Cliff plenty of times.
And what did he say?
He ignored my phone call for almost a week straight. And then I spoke to his girlfriend, and that's when his girlfriend told me the truth. Then he decided to get on the phone and tell me he don't owe me a DAM thing and tell that to have him pay for my rent.
Are you referring to your boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Is it his perspective that your boyfriend lives there?
He knows he doesn't live there. He just doesn't like him. So he picked up and left because he doesn't like him. And I told him.
Why doesn't he like him?
He feels like he has. Okay, so my boyfriend, he'll come over. If he eats, he may not wash the dishes after he eats. But I will clean it up. I don't look for Cliff to clean it up. That's not it's not for Cliff to do. Yes, we have spoken about it, and I've spoken to my boyfriend about it. They don't like each other.
What's going on?
Well, the problem I have with my sister is she got a boyfriend that's very disrespectful. You know what I mean? We buying this together. He be there more than my girlfriend be there. She got her own house, why he can't have his. She said he ain't got no clothes there, but he have clothes there. You know what I mean?
How often was he there? What do you mean all the time?
3-4 times out the week. When I look up, he there. If I'm watching football, he trying to watch football in the front room. You know what I mean? And then he leave dirty stuff around. He don't clean up behind himself. And then that what brings on the argument with me and him. You know what I mean? Because if my girl come there, and I leave, she gonna clean up behind herself.
Why do the females have to clean up over there? Why don't you people just clean up after yourselves? Everybody clean up after yourselves, regardless of what their genitalia is. I don't get that. All right, well, she's gonna clean up after you. Why do you have to clean up after him? Why don't you clean up after yourself just the same way you're telling him to clean up after himself?
That's my woman. That's what she supposed to do.
So what? What?
That's what she supposed to do.
Oh, that was a mistake. That's my woman. That's what she's supposed to. Come on, step on up, woman. Is that what you were born to do? Clean up after his mess? That's your job?
I will, because if I'm there and he's my man and he goes to work and he does what he's supposed to do for me, so I don't have any problem with it.
Are you working?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't understand. But I also don't understand if your boyfriend uses a plate, because yeah, that's mine to pick up, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's bothering him while it's sitting there for however long it's going to sit there.
Well, Your Honor, it doesn't sit there that long.
It sits there long enough to become an argument. As I tell my children, it doesn't belong there right now. Right now, it doesn't belong there. Right. When you're done with it, it belongs rinsed and in a dishwasher or rinsed and in a drying rack. That's what. There is no time for it to just sit there fermenting, bothering me. That's what I tell my children. It doesn't help, but that's what I tell my children and my husband.
But Judge Mediana, then I want to say one other thing.
What, you want to apologize for saying that that's what your woman's for, to clean up? You don't want to tell your female judge that maybe you shouldn't have said that that's what women are for, cleaning up after you.
Hey, I can't take that back.
You can't take it back, but you could apologize and say, well, that was kind of stupid. Are you going to do that or no?
I apologize to you, Judge Mediana.
You can apologize to me, but not to her, the person who's apparently it's your job to pick up after him. Go ahead.
This is what it is. He feels like.
Yeah, but you didn't just meet your brother. How long have you known your brother? Okay, these are not surprises. So why did you think it would be a good idea to move in together?
We grew up together. We've been around.
How did it go then? Was he jealous of your boyfriends? Would he pick fights with your boyfriends back then?
Yes. He'll chase them down the street. Yep. Yes, he would.
So then why would you move in with him in this arrangement? Why would you think it would be different now?
I just thought we grew up.
Why would you move in with your brother?
Can I tell you what?
No, you cannot. Why would you move in with your brother?
No matter what, right now, me and my brother don't talk, but I will still always love my brother no matter what.
Was your boyfriend working?
He does.
Did he help out with the rent?
He gave me money, but it was rent. Me and him paid the rent. He does not live there. He does not live there.
Does he pay rent somewhere else, yes or no?
Yes.
What did you think was going to happen when you moved out and you left your sister with the rent debacle?
Well, me and my sister grew up, I'm a lot older than my sister, but I've been around her, we the closest two out of the 6 kids in the family. But the situation is how me and my sister started, to start doing things together. I'm a veteran, 6.5 years in the Marine. When I come out, I started trying to do things for my sister, to help my sister. But when you got old deadbeat dude trying to...
Okay, yes, I understand your feelings about the guy. What I'm asking you about, Mr. Alderman, is what did you think was going to happen when your sister all of a sudden is left paying double the rent? Because that's what she's suing you for. She says that you should finish paying off. She ended up having to come up with all of the rent because you left her high and dry. So she wants you to pay the half you didn't pay because you left her like that 3 months before the lease was going to...
She had a boyfriend. He could do that.
Yeah, but he's not the one who agreed to pay it. And, when you say, he was there 3 or 4 times a week, she's a grown woman, I understand he's not cleaning up after himself, but he's not who you hurt, it's her. Tell me about the TV. Why did you take the TV?
She went crying to my grandmother about that. She got 3 TVs in the house. She keeps saying, listen.
I have 3 TVs in the house, so I have to give you one too? Why did you take her TV?
Because I put money towards that TV.
How much did you pay?
I put about $400 towards that TV.
How much was the TV?
About $1,700.
So if you paid $400, why did you take 100% of it?
Because she don't need it, because she got 2 other TVs in there.
The biggest TV I have, which is my living room TV, was my living room TV.
But do you hear yourself?
Well, listen, she went and talked to my grandmother about it, Judge Miliani, and my grandmother told me, I don't know if she said it, but I don't think my grandmother feared to me. My grandmother said, hey, let him have it. Just don't say, he ain't helping me do nothing anyway. I'm finna lose the house. Because, we had an agreement on the house. We did. We signed everything saying, it'll go money toward to buy the house after 2 years. It was a nice house, then I had the military helping me, do this, but I just wasn't getting along with her boyfriend. It wasn't gonna work. As long as she kept him there, I wasn't gonna stay there.
Okay, but she's not, he's her man and you're not, all right? And it is what it is. And as far as the house, quote, losing the house, both of you knew when you walked into that situation that you may or may not end up buying the house. You don't know how it is that, how it's gonna work out between you two. It didn't. You don't know whether you'll have the cash 2 years from the time you signed that contract. So that was never a given thing. That doesn't bother me. The 2 years living there paying rent, that was a given thing. That was an agreement that the two of you had. And just because you paid $400 into a $1,700 TV doesn't give you the right to take it off the wall. Oh, she has so much. Let me just take one. Where planet are you living on that you would think that that's appropriate? What kind of TV is this?
A hibachi.
How long? Hibachi? Okay. How long?
I think that's the name of it.
Say it again. Hibachi is a rice cooker but maybe, I don't know, maybe they make TVs too. I have no idea if they make TVs.
No, it's I don't.
Let me see what you got.
I don't know.
Hitachi.
Can I say one other thing, Judge Milian?
Yeah, what did you want to say?
I try to be truthful about the things I do, and I apologize to my sister, Judge Miliani, to
For
be
what?
truthful.
You apologize
Because my grandmother, no, not about what I said before.
So what are you apologizing for?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if your brother or sister lived with you, moved out, and stole your TV, would you sue them?
No, I would.
But they stole from you. They disrespected you.
Yeah, but it's just a TV. It's not like they stole something that really matters, like a dog or something like that.
Well, what if they stole a dog?
Then I would sue.
Okay. What about the TV, though? Back to the TV.
No.
Why? But they don't respect you enough that they're stealing your stuff.
Yeah, but I don't really believe in suing somebody over something like that.
Okay. I'm going to go to you, sir.
No, I wouldn't sue them. I don't think that's the process that would help.
What if they stole $1,000?
Same thing.
$10,000?
Same thing.
$100,000? You know you're going to say yes eventually, right?
If I had it.
What's your number? Okay, going inside the courtroom.
My grandmama always told me to try to be real respectful. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I only gave her $200 on the TV. I
why did you say 400? Why did you just perjure yourself a second ago? So why did you just perjure yourself? Why did you say 400?
Well, I just try to add in a little more because her boyfriend don't do nothing, so I'm just being truthful with her. You know what I mean? I'm just being straight up. I gave her $200, that's it.
How old are you?
I'm 56.
Did he just become this way, or was he always like this?
I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's wrong with him. I wouldn't, if I would even have thought my brother would have did this to me, I would never even sign anything with him.
The value of that TV now on the open market, because you have to understand that it depreciates a lot, is $500. How much was the rent?
$2,100.
$2,100 a month.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
When did he stop paying rent?
The last month he paid was August.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
And it went on, the lease went on until November?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I find in your favor, in the amount of all of the rent, $3,150 plus $500 for the TV, for a total judgment in your favor in the amount of $3,650. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you.
Let's see what the defendant has to say coming out of the hallway here after this case. It's something to see a sister on one side and a brother on another side in court.
Well, no, that's true, but I still love my sister, and I hope the best for her. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. When she said that about you, you were watching her, right? Yeah. When she was talking about how much she loved you, her eyes were tearing up. You know she feels
she went to crying. You know, I feel the same way. I love my sister, but her boyfriend, it is what it is. Blood is thicker than water. When she decide to come back home with a family, that's what she do. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so what about you? Tears streaming down here.
If blood was thicker than water, then why he did this to me? How much do you really care about your little sister?
It seems to be that boyfriend that he just can't get over. I don't understand. Can you explain what the problem is there?
He changed since he got out the military.
In what way do you mean that?
Everything, he's negative about everything. You heard what he said about his girlfriend? She's supposed to clean up after him. She's not supposed to do anything. By choice, yes, she'll clean up after him. Yes, that's any woman. But she doesn't have to do anything. He's changed for the worse. I don't even want to be caught up with him anymore.
Okay. All right, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, the judge wasn't influenced by the defendant saying a woman's job is to cook and whatnot. The fact is the plaintiff had the evidence on her side. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, tune in as we discuss March Madness players, upsets, matchups, and bracket busters. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly, easier said, done.
This is the plaintiff, Vanessa Sanders. She says she moved into the defendant's basement apartment, only to find out a short time later that it was an illegal rental. That's right. The defendant tricked her, took her money, and now won't return a security deposit. She's suing the liar and the trickster for the $2,200 she's owed. This is the defendant, John Sedinary. He says the plaintiff stopped paying rent and came up with excuse after excuse, telling him the check was in the mail. Then she snuck out of the apartment without telling him she was even moving out. And if anyone out here is owed money, it's him. He's accused of being a sneaky landlord. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,680 for 2 months back rent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff moved into the defendant's apartment. Turns out it's an illegal unit, but the defendant says this is an excuse for not paying rent. It's the case of your unit sucks.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Sanders, you're suing Mr. Setanieri, your former landlord, for $2,200 that you want returned to you, your security deposit, your first month's rent, and the cost of construction work that you did there. You are counterclaiming against her November rent and December rent. Let me hear from you first. What happened?
So I was looking for an apartment, and as you know, rents in New York City are really high. I found a 1,500 square listed as a basement apartment that Mr. Setanieri owned. So I contacted him about the apartment. I went to see it. It took me a few days to decide, but then I decided on it because of the price.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What kind of place was this? What did it look like?
So it's a 2-story building altogether.
And then a basement?
And then a basement, and a storefront as well. It has commercial space.
And commercial space. And did people live in the other 2 stories?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And were both occupied?
Yes.
All right. So then what happens?
So on October 6th, I deposited $1,680, that's first month's rent and first month's security, or security deposit, into the defendant's account. And then I picked up the keys from the store owner.
Did you get a lease?
No.
What was your plan?
So at first he told me that he would talk to his partner about a lease, and he would get back to me. But I paid him the money and I took the keys.
Was the rent, had you negotiated the rent?
Yes. So originally when he listed the apartment, it was listed for $950, and then we got it down to $840 because of the amount of work it needed done.
What work did it need done?
Everything: framing, sheetrock, electrical, oven.
So what was the idea though? How are you going to live there?
So I was going to do the work and then move in.
Are you a contractor? Have you ever done work before?
No.
So how are you going to do the work?
Hire someone, and that's where the
Have you ever done that before?
No.
Okay, what did you think this was, a piece of cake? Like it's not a problem? All right, so you thought that your first foray into the construction world would be to do it for someone else's place, not your own.
Yes, but again, it's
with no lease.
Oh my God.
No, it is. It's really crazy.
It took me 5 days.
How did it work out for you? Why don't we talk about that? How did it work out for you? Go ahead, tell me about it.
Okay, so is somebody who doesn't have experience doing construction and they try, bad idea?
Yes.
Why? Is it that hard to do construction?
Yes, of course.
A lot of people think all you have to do is hammer and nails into them.
Well, I can't do that.
Although I was actually joking. What do you say?
No, I think that if you don't have experience, it's dangerous too.
It's dangerous too?
Yeah.
That's actually a good point. Okay, we're going to go inside the courtroom.
So I gave him the money, I got the keys. So over the month, we were texting back and forth. He was asking me if I found a contractor. He would help me find a contractor.
Does he live there? Or no,
he doesn't live there. I found out later he lives in Staten Island, but before I didn't know that. He tried to help me find some contractors, gave me some ideas. We talked throughout the month. About the 3rd week of October, I had like a family friend. I paid him to come to start the work. So he...
And you were what was your first month's rent was what, October?
Yes. And it was for $840. So then I had the family friend come and start doing the work in the apartment. So I had to buy the materials, and I also paid the person to do the work.
What did that cost you?
About $520 altogether.
Okay. And what work was that?
Some electrical. He started running.
That's just the beginning.
I know.
Did you have any idea what you wanted to do would end up costing you?
No, I did not. But again, in Brooklyn, a 3-bedroom is upward of $2,000.
Yeah, if it's yours. And by yours, I don't mean if you own it necessarily, because maybe if you were handy and you've done this before and you have relatives in the biz, I could understand you if you had a lease. But you understand the guy just has to, you could do all this beautiful stuff, and then he says, I'm giving you 30 days notice. And that's it.
So prior to that, I did not know this.
I didn't know that somebody could say you're out when you don't have a lease?
No, I thought that they have to take you to court. And
every single time when
housing court, yes. And
what if they did want to take you to court? Even assuming it would take them a bit to get to court, which I guess is what you were counting on. That's an odd perspective. Then what if your court went a little faster than you'd estimated? Then you'd still be out.
Well, I didn't think this would, I planned to stay there for 4 or 5 years. I just didn't think he would turn out to be as dishonest.
What? You have no rights.
Right, well
it's
now.
It's not yours, and he can legally, absolutely within his power, in the scenario you have described. Was there a lease, a written lease?
No.
Absolutely, I'll be with you in a moment. Within his power, he had the right to perfectly legally say to you,
changed my mind. It's so nice. I want it for my mother. He could say that to you, and you would have no leg to stand on. It doesn't make him a bad person. Well, but it doesn't. He would not be acting unlawfully. All right. So what went sour?
So the person that did the original work left town, and so I had to find someone else to continue the work. And so I had a contractor come over, and he said he wouldn't be involved because it's an illegal apartment, and he didn't want to take my money and then.
What made him say it was an illegal apartment? Did he tell you?
Because of there's no additional way to escape from the apartment, and there are no windows.
Yeah. So, did you not know that this was probably not suitable for living until you made it suitable for living?
Okay, so yes.
Because I think you kind of knew.
Yeah, so I knew, that's why I didn't move in, but I didn't know it was totally illegal. I just thought it was an apartment that needed work.
Mr. Sedanieri, let me hear from you. Did the apartment have two ways to get out?
Well, you can go to the backyard. It has a gate to the backyard. It has
Does it have two doors?
No. It has a door to the basement, a gate to the...
All right, so she rents a place, and then when do you start having problems with her?
Well, after a month, I gave a couple of people to get a reasonable price to fix it. And after a month, I don't see nothing going on. So I asked for the rent for November. He says, oh, okay, I'll give it to you at the end of the week. So I wait, no rent, because she can deposit into my account and no deposit. So Monday, I call her. She said, the apartment is illegal, this and that. Okay, you wanna move out? Give me the key. I'll give you $400.
Why $400?
Already I lost in November because I cannot rent it for November.
Oh, you cannot rent it at all.
I can rent it.
How can you rent it? What do you have there? What kind of permit do you have?
People across the street that rented the basement.
Oh, no. You mistake what I'm saying. You don't understand me. I know that you are capable of renting it.
Yeah.
I know a human can pay you money and move in there. The question is, for you to be able to keep a penny of what she gave you for rent that's owed to you, the law only allows you to do that if you are legally capable of renting it. So explain to me how you can keep a penny for rent.
I can rent it as a storage. I can rent it as a
You could,
warehouse.
but you didn't, did you? You didn't rent it as a storage.
But, she still has the key.
Oh, you don't have a second key?
I have a second key, but I can't.
So then you could show it to somebody.
I cannot show it.
No, it doesn't matter. You still can't keep it for rent. And even under that theory, I still don't know how you're suing for November and December when you also had a security deposit, which would have applied for one of those. So you've got me completely baffled. Do you still have the keys to the place?
Yes.
All right. So before you leave, you need to hand them over. Let's make sure that happens. As far as your security deposit and October rent, I am ordering you to return to her $1,680. As far as the construction work, that's a problem for you. And as far as your counterclaim against her, $0. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, here comes the man who rented an illegal apartment out. How did you think you could do that?
It happens, It happens.
It happens.
You have expenses, you have to rent.
But shouldn't you take into account what's legal versus illegal before you go ahead and rent?
Yeah, that's true.
You should, right?
That was a mistake.
But you didn't. A mistake? Are you going to keep doing it?
No.
Okay. Head right around this way. All right, so step on in here. And how do you feel about what you got here? You got at least the security part back.
Yes, I'm happy.
But not the construction costs.
No, but I'm happy that I was able to get the security and first month's rent. So.
Yeah, you're pretty lucky. You had an idea this was an illegal joint when you took it, right?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
With those conditions that you described?
I guess I knew that it wasn't livable in that terms, yes. And
livable?
that's why I didn't move in.
You thought it was legal, though?
I wasn't sure, honestly.
Harvey?
Okay, here's a little tidbit. When you move into a place, make your landlord show you a certificate of occupancy. If they start getting shady about it and saying they don't have it, probably it's illegal. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This
This is the plaintiff, James Triano. He says his car broke down on the side of the road. The defendant towed it to his shop and he authorized him to make the necessary repairs. The defendant basically rebuilt his engine, and when he got the car back, there were now problems with the car he never had before. The defendant's a mediocre mechanic at best. His car's in worse shape than it was before he fixed it, and he's suing for the return of the $3,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Paul Costa. He says he fixed the plaintiff's car 2 years ago, gave him a 1-year warranty on the work he performed, and his mother paid the bill. About a year later, the plaintiff tells him he wants to sell the car because it's a money pit. And then next thing he knows, he gets served with this lawsuit, and the guy's suing him for $3,000. Please. Bottom line, he owes this joker nothing. He's accused. Shoddy workmanship on a car.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff took his car to the defendant's shop and says it came back worse than when he brought it in. But the defendant is saying, give me a break. It was 2 years ago, and his mom paid. It's the case of Mama said there'd be days like this.
Thank you, Douglas. James Triano, you are suing 5 Star Auto Center Incorporated, represented here by Paul Costa. You're the owner?
Yes, I am.
All right. For $3,000, that's state maximum in your state. According to you, you're actually out almost $3,500. Because according to you, work he did on your car essentially destroyed your car. Tell me what's going on.
My car broke down. I had it towed to his facility.
What kind of car?
My timing belt snapped on it.
What kind of car?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chrysler Concorde.
What year?
99.
99. Okay.
I was driving. My timing belt snapped, so.
How long ago was that?
1/6/14. That's when I had it towed to his shop.
January 2014. Okay.
When I got there the following day, he told me that there was several other damage that was done to the engine from the timing belt snapped. I guess the exhaust valves broke, the intake, which had to be replaced. He did the repairs. They weren't up to. I don't believe they're up to standards. I had them looked at a couple other places. I continued to have problems with the car.
Okay, do you have any evidence from the other places?
The repairs that I had done after it?
No, evidence that some other places said his repairs were faulty.
Well, the repairs he did broke down on me.
Sometimes cars break down even though
he changed the gasket on the car, my intake manifold. When I had that fixed by somebody else, my intake manifold, when they cleaned the gasket off, they were either too rough with it because they cracked it. And the gasket had to be changed. That's why I continued to have a vacuum leak from them. I went back to complain about it. Not even a month later, I said, I'm still having problems with the car. He charged me to have that looked at. He gave me some receipt. He used it as, let me see. He said I had faulty spark plugs, mismatched spark plugs that were in the car. Now, I never had, any parts I ever had changed on that car, I bought myself and had a mechanic put them in all the time. And
are you the first owner of that car?
Yeah, I've had that car.
You had that car since 99?
No, I'm actually the second owner of that one.
Okay.
But I've had that car since 2007. So I've had just about every repair. I don't want to.
Because there were no repairs between 1999
I've had repairs, but I don't want to get rid of the car. I've had it for a while. I like it. Now, if you did a major engine repair, as he did, why would you put?
Did he do a major engine repair? Or did he rebuild your engine?
It was rebuilt.
Did you rebuild his engine?
No, ma'am.
Oh. What did you do?
I replaced several engine parts and the cylinder head for him, and I did a maintenance on his timing belt, which is recommended by the dealership to do every 5 years.
Okay.
And apparently that's why it broke, because he hasn't done it.
Okay. Now, this mismatched spark plugs thing that you told him, and this was a month after the first repair, so this was in February?
Right after I left the place, the car, yes.
Was this in February?
Yes.
Okay. Is it accurate that he brought the car back the month after the big repairs?
No, it's not, ma'am.
When, according to you, did he bring the car back?
He brought it back to me in May. May, 8th, 2014, almost 5 months later.
Okay, and then when he brought it back, according to you, what did he say? Is this when you say something to him about spark plugs that are mismatched?
Yes.
Why didn't you guys notice that when you were doing all the big work in January?
Well, because apparently when he tries to fix the cars on his own, and that's how the car got towed there to begin with. Okay, the spark plugs were mismatched because he must have had someone replace the spark plugs, and like
Are spark plugs visible?
No, they're not.
Oh.
But like you said, he does a lot of work on his own. He
No,
buys
but
his
my
parts
question
on
to
his
you
own.
is, how do you see a spark plug? Like if I opened up the hood, what would I have to do to check out my spark plug?
Oh, you can't see it, man.
I can't see it.
No.
It has to. What would have to happen for me?
You'd have to take them off the engine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to take apart the engine to see the spark plug.
You'd have to take apart the cover. You'd have to take apart a few items on the engine.
Okay. Had you taken off the cover when you did the engine work that you did in January?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So how come you didn't notice quote mismatched spark plugs?
Because they weren't mismatched.
Okay.
That's why.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
All right. So he comes back, and then you see mismatch. So your version of the events is he either worked on it himself or had somebody else work on it who did that.
Yes.
Okay. Did you take the car at all between January? Do you have like all the receipts from all the times that you've had to bring the car in to different people?
Yes, I have 2 other receipts.
Let me see all of that.
Thank you, sir.
Man, you were really attached to this car. Okay. He's right. It wasn't a month later. You brought the car to him the first time January 10th, and then the next receipt you have from him is May 8th.
Well, I had went back there once before for another complaint that I had. There was another.
And did what? Nothing that had paperwork?
Well, he refused saying that they didn't do it. I went there. I had an antifreeze.
What other complaint?
An antifreeze leak that I had when I pulled out of there.
Would he come by a lot?
Well, he came by a lot.
How often did he come by?
He wanted to sell me the car several times.
No,
So sometimes I would just amuse him because I didn't want to turn my face at it because he had every other week he had a problem because he said himself he would work on the car himself. I don't know.
Hold on. Go ahead.
So what I fixed is what I fixed, and the car left there running fine. If there was a problem with the car after I fixed it, he would have been back the next day, the next week.
How often would he go by and chit-chat?
At least once a week. He'd call me 3 or 4 times a week.
For real? For how long?
After this, for about a year.
For a year?
Yes.
Why were you talking to him?
Because I'm a business owner. I don't hang up the phone to my customers. I tried to help them out over the phone the best
What was
I
he
can.
talking about?
At one point, he wanted to sell me the car.
Yeah, but besides wanting to sell you the car, which he denies, what else was he talking to you
I
about?
would give him. He told me that he didn't have enough money to fix other things on the car, so I would give him advice.
Okay.
How to go about and doing it.
All right. Well,
my technicians used to run almost when they seen him coming through the door.
Your technicians would run?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got you taking it to him January of 2014. The very next repair that you are giving me receipts for is May of 2014. And then the next repair that comes from a different place isn't until October of 2015. What happened with the car between May of 2014 and October of 2015? Everything was cool?
No, I had the problem. I let it go until I completely had to get it fixed. That was the original.
I don't know what that means. You didn't take care of your car between April?
No, it was that was the gasket.
It either was working or it wasn't.
No,
and
it wasn't
repairs.
working.
Which is it?
It needed repairs from the beginning, but I didn't have it.
You're not listening to my question.
Okay, now, if it's true that it took 5 months before he brought it back and complained, is that too long?
Yeah, that's way too long.
Why?
Because you don't know what could happen in the meantime.
That's a fair point. You have anything to add to that statement? I would say no. She kind of said it all. I mean, when you say it all, you say it all. Going inside the courtroom.
Where are all the receipts for everything that went wrong between May of 2014 to October of 2015? Because only 2 possibilities exist. Nothing went wrong, which you don't want to say, or something did go wrong, but you fixed it yourself, which I guess you also don't want to say.
I don't know how to fix anything on a car.
Okay.
Any repairs
so
I had.
If everything went wrong from the moment he fixed the car 2 years ago, I need to see what went wrong in a year and a half of those 2 years.
Those receipts that I gave you.
Do you hear me? I have a receipt for...
Those are the only things that was wrong with it.
So then nothing was wrong between May of 20... Listen to my question. Nothing was wrong then with this car, this 16-year-old car that's almost old enough to vote. Nothing went wrong from May 2014 to October 2015. Correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay. What went wrong, and show me proof of it?
I have the receipts of what was fixed. I waited to have them fixed. It was a
So things
continuous
went wrong and you just ignored them and didn't pay attention to them?
Because I didn't want to keep on putting more money into something. And
So you didn't take care of your car for a year and a half?
He refused to fix it.
There's no good answer. There's no good answer, and you're starting to realize that because
No,
I am
I'm not.
circling you and I'm coming in for the kill. Wait for it.
That's
your
your
All right.
opinion
You know,
of it.
I mean, come on. October. Then the next one is Wawa Auto Repairs. What date was that one? Because it's kind of scribbly. Do you know? When did that one come into play? 2014, 2015?
That was 2014. That was my pipe that I broke that was broken.
How'd you break the pipe?
I didn't break the pipe. They had touched something when they did the engine repair.
I thought you just said my pipe that I broke.
No, I didn't say pipe.
Did he just not say my pipe that I broke?
How could I break it? It's under the car. It was
How many
broken.
people say he just said my pipe that I broke? Show of hands, please. I need you to turn around.
I don't need to turn around.
All right.
And this is exactly
Mr. Triano, I'm sorry you're having problems with the car. I happen to be someone who falls in love with cars too, much to everyone else in my house.
He did faulty repairs and stuff.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
You have
he
no
did.
proof of that.
I gave it.
Zero. Show me the mechanical proof from another mechanic, an expert, not you who are whining about a 2-year-old repair. Show me proof from a mechanic that says he
You
did
want me to
something
bring a
wrong.
mechanic here and have them tell you that?
Say what?
I said, what do you want me to do? Have brought a mechanic here and tell you that was what was wrong with it? That's what you're asking
That's
for.
what's done in every case. Oh my God, that was so priceless. Yes, that's exactly what I want you to do. That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to bring me evidence of what you're saying in order to win. And barring that, verdict for the defendant.
Thank you. And this is how entertaining.
What do you want me to bring? Evidence?
You won't keep entertaining me.
All right, so come on over, and the plaintiff's right here. He's leaving the courtroom, and that was his last chance to speak. Didn't want it. All right, so step on in here, and what's your feeling on the outcome here?
The feeling, the outcome is what it's supposed to be. I was entertaining this gentleman for 2 years, and as judge can see, she was trying to entertain him also, and he had no case against me because none of the repairs that I did were faulty.
Okay. The case ended, and as he was leaving the courtroom, he turned to you and said something. What was it?
He said he's going to come and see me this afternoon.
Yeah?
I hope he has good luck because I sold the business because there's a new owner there now.
Harvey?
Okay, I gotta say, this is hilarious that the plaintiff would think that it's hysterical or hilarious to bring in a mechanic. Why would he have to do that? He has to do that because you're not a mechanic, and mechanics are the only ones who can testify about what is wrong with a vehicle.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, tune in as we discuss March Madness players, upsets, matchups, and bracket busters. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly, easier said, done.